Sunset Shimmer messed up. Big time. And I'm not talking about when she stole the element of magic and turned into a demon. More recently, she did something that was even crazier and perhaps more dangerous. So for context, let's go over what happened. The main 7 were on a cruise for spring break. As a storm was coming on, Rainbow Dash noticed a strange pattern in the ocean, so she took a lifeboat to investigate. Sunset and Sidetwi went after her and found her on an island sinking in quicksand, or so they thought. The sand was actually covering a portal to Equestria. The 3 went through and made their way across Ponyville to the castle. When Princess Twilight showed them the staff of Sakanis, Rainbow Dash recognized the Storm King logo as the pattern she saw. They realized that some of his magic must have found its way into the human world, and that it was responsible for the storm. Going back through the sand portal and using the staff, they were able to absorb the rest of Storm King's magic. The main 7 ponied up and brought everyone who was on board the sinking ship safely to the island. Now, this adventure was already wild. Who knew there was a natural gateway between the worlds, and potentially more? But what happened next is where it gets insane. So there they were, stranded on the island, right? But help must have been coming. Even if the Rainbow Laser EMP destroyed the ship's comms, that loss of contact would have alerted the mainland that something was wrong. Plus, you know what wasn't destroyed? Sidetwi's phone, which had 4 bars, by the way. She had no trouble calling Rainbow's phone, so don't tell me no one on that ship thought to call for help through that whole ordeal. I'm sure rescue speedboats or helicopters were already well on their way, so all they had to do is just wait. But is that what Sunset Shimmer did? No, it's not. Without waiting even a minute, the absolute mad lass came up with a crackpot plan to send everyone through the sand portal to Equestria, where they could go through Twilight's portal to Canterlot High. I mean, yeah, that's one way to get home, but just think about this for 1 second. You're a student at Canterlot High, and yeah, you've seen some pretty crazy stuff, but one day you're on a sinking ship and you get taken to an island and told to jump through a portal where you find yourself in a cave, but as a horse. You make your way through a quaint little village of horses and enter a giant crystal castle where you proceed to go through another portal, which brings you to the front lawn of your school. Do you think you'd wake up the next day and wonder if it was all a dream? Wouldn't you want to go to the base of the horse statue and test it out? And when you confirm that it wasn't a dream, don't you think the word would start to spread from person to person until everyone in the area knew about the portal not only to Equestria, but to Twilight's castle? And who in their right minds wouldn't want to check that out? There's a reason Celestia was worried about throwing off the balance between worlds, and why Twilight always went to the human world by herself or with Spike. Did Sunset really not think about the can of worms she was opening, the chaos she was unleashing? This plan was just absolutely unhinged, and it's only a matter of time before humans start coming through that portal in droves. Unless something was done about this. We sadly didn't see anything past this moment here, but Twilight must have had some sort of reaction. I bet she gave Sunset an earful. But then what? How do you deal with this crazy situation? One possibility is that Twilight sent them right back through the cave portal to the island. They'd end up being saved anyway, and without learning about the portal at their school. This to me seems like the best option, but the way the story was framed was as if to say this is how they got home. And if that's the case, I can only think of one course of action if Twilight wanted to maintain the status quo. To erase their memories, Men in Black style. Now, I know that seems out of character, but she'd only be removing the memories from the short amount of time they spent in Equestria. And when you compare that to the chaos of letting them keep their memories, Twilight's choice seems pretty clear. As for how she'd do it, the Memory Stone was destroyed, but I'm sure there's a spell for it. Nothing Starlight couldn't whip up. The spell could be designed so that the humans would only start forming memories again once they got back to their world. Anything between the island and Canterlot High? Gone. Sure, that would leave the students with a shared mystery of what happened that day, and maybe they'd theorize that the main 7 used some teleport move or something, but what matters is that they would be off the trail. The portal would remain a secret. I can't think of any other solution here, at least not one that doesn't drastically change the way these worlds interact. But what do you think? How did Twilight deal with all the human world visitors? What would you have done? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you want to support this channel financially, check out my perks at patreon.com/sawtoothwaves. And thank you so much to everyone who already has, especially my Alicorn tier patrons. The Nameless One, Hexstream, Equinox3141, Maximilian HG, Cameo Shadowness, Petrolhead02, Gilded Page, Dr. Hooves, Fairfallen, and the winner of this week's Alicorn raffles, Hyanax. Congrats, and thanks again for everyone's support. Y'all help make this channel possible. I'm Sawtooth Waves, signing out until Friday after next. Brohoof.